This week on The Verdict, we're laying back and taking a look at Stoner Noir.
Welcome to The Verdict. I'm Alex Montgomery.
I'm Paul Shuhart.
And I'm Tristan Sartor. The Big Lebowski is not only a stoner movie, but quite possibly one of the best movies of all time, with a soon-to-be all-star cast of names like John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, and Jeff Bridges, to name a few. Big Lebowski tells the classic story of mistaken identity with a few surreal and hilarious twists. Let's watch that trailer.
Wait, let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. You know, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Employed?
Do you like sex, Mr. Lebowski?
Is this your only ID?
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude.
Your name's Lebowski.
Jeff Lebowski, the other Lebowski, the millionaire.
I received this ransom note this morning.
This is a bummer, man.
They want you to take the money and act as courier.
What do you mean, man? What the hell is this?
My dirty undies, dude. The whites. Let's take that hell! Why should we settle for 20 grand when we can keep the entire million?
I know you're mixed up in all this.
Playing one side against the other in bed with everybody.
Blow on them.
Huh?
Fabulous stuff. What?
Who's sitting on $1 million?
We want some money.
Sitting in the trunk of our car.
Where's my damn money?
Say, dude, where is your car?
Who's got your undies, Walter?
This is a very complicated case, Maud. A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Is this your homework, Larry? And I would like my undies back.
A lot of strands to keep in my head, man.
Whoa! Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
I like your style, dude.
I have no choice but to tell these bums to do whatever is necessary to recover their money from you.
They were Nazis, dude?
They were nihilists, man. They kept saying they believed in nothing. You figured, here's a loser, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Oh, hell yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey,
Bond?
love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Jesus. This could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
So y'all guys want to go talk about this while I find an ATM?
Excellent movie, I think, honestly. I found a few things that was funny, like how they kept throwing dude's head in the toilet.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. Just bring me down one more time. I think I might find it.
And then the carpet that he was so crazy about.
Oh yeah.
He was so adamant about that carpet, dude.
Oh yeah.
When he peed on the carpet, and then when he found the real Lebowski, and then he was just like, replace my carpet, and he went. And so on his way out, he was just like, oh yeah, by the way, he told the butler, by the way, yeah, he told him I get in the carpet. So he just walked out of the carpet.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the titular thing of this movie is it's just like there are such high stakes, but they're taken so casually. Like the whole Walter pulling a gun on somebody in a bowling alley
Dude, that
over a foul.
Okay, yeah. That was my favorite scene.
It's totally looked over. Outside of the scene,
scene.
it's totally looked over. It's a wonderful. I think everyone has seen the meme of Walter with his pistol.
Like, dude really got mad. He was just like, bro, that's a foul, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's a foul. This man can do it right. he getting got. You hear me? Like, that was funny, bro. Straight up.
No, like you were saying, it's funny because, the dude, he tries so hard not to be part of the story, He has nothing to do with the story. The only reason he's even connected in here is because someone pissed on his rug and they took it. And he keeps trying to get himself out of the story, but
people keep bringing him in.
Into it.
I love how Walter keeps bringing him in the story. Like, he finds the kid that stole his car. Like, that whole scene where Walter tries to get the car back is just so great. It's just these kind of like mirroring stories of mistaken identity and just these super high stakes that are just, I wouldn't even say foiled. They're just so casualized to the point where they don't even seem to have consequence.
I love the amount of just like religious references that are in this movie. It's just insane. Like, for like example, like when they're talking about the nihilist, and then the guy Jesus, and then of course the dude is
you don't mess with Jesus.
It's like Taoism, and they just keep throwing different religions, and just everything's up for grabs in this movie. It's just so funny, like. Just the amount of references from other movies, like the very end when he's like, the dude abides.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't realize this until rewatching it now. The nihilist, the German guy, is the same guy, Dieter, that got eaten by the Compsognathus in Jurassic Park Lost World. The guy that got eaten by the little green ones in the second one, that's him. I was like, what is he, how did he, I don't know, the whole cast of this movie is fascinating to me because you have people that were somewhat famous, people knew who these people were, but they weren't like major cultural icons yet. But if you look at people like John Goodman, you look at people like Steve, these people have had their own shows, after this. I'm not saying this was their break, but it's kind of interesting that kind of mid-level fame they had going on and just the sheer amount of talent you have in this movie.
It definitely was a good movie.
Oh yeah, like you were saying with, who was it? Philip Seymour Kaufman, like he's like a minor role in this. I was like, what? I was like,
he's just kind of there.
It's like the only time I've ever seen his character, him acting in such a. He's always like the loser type character, but it's like the only time I haven't seen him where it's like we just follow him around just being a loser. I was just shocked. I was like, what? Why is he in here?
Is that the super skinny dude that was?
He's the butler.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think it's so funny they still killed off Steve Buscemi in the end of this movie because there's so many compilations on YouTube of Steve Buscemi's deaths in movies and television. He's just unfortunately he just looks like a very killable guy. Unfortunately, it's worked out, Mr. Buscemi. Give me a shout out here.
But Bank escapes,
Oh yeah.
At the end.
But he just kind of kills over because of a heart attack. It's the most underwhelming Buscemi death of all time.
Oh God, yeah. I like the amount of dream sequences that are in this movie. I like the beginning when we see the tumbleweed. Obviously, that's supposed to represent the dude. How he kind of just goes through life, getting pushed around, just kind of seeing, just like he doesn't really fight the.
I feel to say he don't, and he get used to it too. Like he just like, bro, it's gonna happen. So, but just
I took the tumbleweed thing kind of, especially with Sam, what's his name? Sam.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I'm so sorry, Sam. But yeah, his very Western narration with the tumbleweed. I feel like it kind of sets it up, and then Los Angeles, like this, like it's going to be this Western showdown kind of thing, and it keeps setting up like these potential showdowns.
Yeah. And
it all just keeps getting split. I think it's kind of that whole just subverting expectations over everything. Yeah, man, it's a fantastic film.
Yeah, speaking of spoiling stuff like that, our next movie is about two stoners going on a ride, of their lives, and one of them actually sees a murder, right? And so he ends up being found out about it, and so he goes on the lam. They both go on the lam, and so this dangerous drug dealer is coming after him, and so this is Pineapple Express. Let's take a look at the trailer.
It feels good in my brain.
Cops.
Sorry about things just got out of hand.
Yeah, that's the way it was with my first husband.
It's Dale. Come on up.
Buzz it in 3 seconds exactly.
On 1, 2, 3, go.
Just on 3.
2 months you've been coming to me, right?
What's up with the suit?
I'm a process server.
You're a servant? Like a butler?
No.
Shine shoes?
I'm a what? No, I serve out like subpoenas. I gotta wear like disguises sometimes.
Disguise? Wish I had an easy job like you have.
You have the easiest job on earth. You smoke all day. Dude.
Who's that?
Oh my God. They saw me see them shoot the... What? They saw you? No. Did they follow you in? I don't know. Let's get out of here. Get the snacks. Food. 2 roll-ups.
We are going to hunt these guys down. Dale, Saul, we're going to kill them all.
This is so exciting.
Whoa. I gotta get to a phone, man. Come on.
No. I think we should stay.
Why?
Because I'm in the dumpster already.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name.
How could he find us?
Heat-seeking missiles, bloodhounds, foxes, barracudas.
I'm kind of flabbergasted when you say things like that. It's weird.
Thank you.
Not a compliment.
You're in the jungle now, baby. Thug life.
Highway skulls and bones, sticks and stones and seed and bombs, running when we hit 'em.
I can't see! But kick out the window, isn't that what they do? And they got pulled by groin! Get your foot out of there!
The only express I want to take is this one.
He said all this right you want to take.
I try.
Oh yeah. No, this is definitely a funny film. I think out of all 3, I think this one's definitely the funny one. I mean, of course, Big Lebowski has funny moments, but this is definitely, I would say, the biggest attempt at humor of all the films.
100%. James Franco and Seth Rogen are the best duo ever when it comes to comedy. If not ever, literally in the top 5. Ooh, yeah, top 5.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, and then they got a lot of movies together too.
Yeah, they do.
They kind of they're kind of like the American version of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. So they kind of do everything together.
Yeah, I've never thought it like that. Yeah, that's true.
I think this, out of all the movies we saw, I think this is the funniest one, and I think Seth Rogen is hilarious. Period. And I think one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when he finds the dude that kills the, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know what he was doing, and then so when he find, when he see what happened, he just, you know what I'm saying? And then like tried to pull off. He's so nervous that he started hitting everybody's car.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious. I mean, this. Hands down, that was a great movie.
I think one of the most underrated parts of this is Danny McBride. Danny McBride is so, I mean, there's not a thing Danny McBride isn't funny in. This is definitely one of his, I love the fact that he does play the same character in everything. He plays the angry, redneck without the southern accent, essentially. But it really, really works.
He said without the southern accent?
I mean, if he had a southern accent, he'd essentially be Larry the Cable Guy. Can't deny it.
What's the I would be off topic. I would be like, what's the commercial that Larry the Cable Guy in? But never mind. Disregard. Rosie Perez. I think that was Rosie Perez, right? That was in the movie, Rosie Perez? The police officer.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, that was funny too.
I totally forgot about that.
Yes, Rosie Perez. Like, that was good too. And it was cool to see her in a movie like that too.
Yeah, this movie is insane.
Yeah.
The amount of action that's in this movie is just really surprising to me, especially because it's like you said, it's a comedy, so you don't really expect the amount of violence that's in this, and I think it's really done well, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
I think the final shootout's really, I think it's shot very well. The location, the way that they have the actors, the way that it's panning, I was really just shocked by the presentation that they went on this. Especially,
Ooh.
I mean,
when you put it like that,
I just wasn't what I was expecting. But I was very pleased.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing to be disappointed at in this film. It sets a goal and it absolutely achieves that goal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My favorite part of this movie is when Seth Rogen's character, he's calling up his girlfriend right after they break up, and she wants to come back with him, and then he's thinking about it, and he's like, "Oh no, oh my gosh, no, you don't." He just starts saying how terrible of a person he is and why it's a bad idea. It's such a funny scene. What's his name? Seth Rogen's like big break, right?
This is Freaks and Geeks was kind of his first real thing. That was with James Franco as well. I think this is the first time he really gets a center stage, though, I'd say.
Because I remember he was in Freaks and Geeks and a couple, like 2 other movies, but this is like his real big like debut.
This is where you start remembering Seth Rogen.
Like starring role. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's aged beautifully. I think it's more funny now than it was then, to be honest. With a lot of the comedy, I think though that you probably can't do anymore. But
early 2000s comedy is so neat because it's like the last age where you could just be funny.
Yeah, and say all the crazy things and not get in trouble for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I like the ending when he's all bleeding out and he's like, they're just eating pancakes. They're not just loud about it, just like, all right, yeah, let's just finish shooting this up and just find it. We'll worry about it later. You know?
He said, we'll worry about it later. That was funny.
No, it's such a fun time. Like I said, there's such an obscene amount of violence in it for such a funny movie. Like it has just no. Like you would like looking at it, like if you were just looking at these scenes, you'd be like, why is this dude putting his foot through the bloody windshield of a cop car? No, that's a comedy. Like to explain anyone why that's a comedy is the funniest process in the world to me. Like you just have to see the film.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure who wrote this. I don't really remember. I didn't actually bother to check. I think Seth Rogen helped write this.
It's very Rogen.
Rogen-esque.
Yeah,
that style of comedy. But yeah, I really love the dynamic between Seth Rogen and Frank.
James Franco?
James Franco. I always forget his first name. James.
there's like 3 Francos now working in show business.
You know, they just seem like 2 people that just shouldn't, mix so well.
I agree.
They just work
100%.
so well.
I agree, like for real with it, like seriously.
They just like seeing James Franco and his other stuff. He's just so
Spider-Man.
Really,
he in a soap opera too.
He just tries to be such a serious actor, and it's just so weird seeing him kind of jumping around.
I feel like
trash cans.
And I feel like he liked those comedies way more though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. He definitely pushes himself to do all this.
Yeah. He do a lot of them with Seth Rogen too, and it works out though.
They do have this really unique chemistry. I mean, they've been doing it for like ever. So at this point, if they didn't have each other's back, who would? Yeah. I think this is the first movie we really hear the Seth Rogen laugh. We get more of that than I think we ever got.
I'll do it again.
It's like a weird kind of ASMR, the Seth Rogen laugh, because I can't even replicate it that well. It's this very unique sound effect. I wish I had in more film.
Oh man, that is funny. Well, we got another movie coming your way. So Sam is a disenchanted 33-year-old who discovers a mysterious woman, Sarah, frolicking in his apartment swimming pool. When she vanishes, Sam embarks on a surreal quest across Los Angeles to decode the secret behind her disappearance, leading him into the murkiest depths of mystery, scandal, and conspiracy in the city of Los Angeles.
I saw you spying on me earlier.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Good.
What the?
Who moves out in the middle of the night?
Nothing strange about it. She wanted to leave. How does that not make sense?
I don't understand why she didn't tell me.
Maybe she didn't like you. Maybe she knows you're poor and haven't paid your rent.
I found some kind of code or like secret message in her apartment. It means stay quiet.
Our world is filled with codes, subliminal messages, from Silver Lake to the Hollywood Hills.
Could any of this be connected to Sarah?
I know this girl.
There's a message in the music.
Really think you're gonna find a hidden message in a pop song? 1, 2, 3. Can't quite see it, but I'm close.
Honey, how are you?
Mom, I'm fine. Mostly fine.
Why do we assume that all of this information is what we're told it is?
Maybe there are people out there who are more important than us, more powerful, communicating things in the world that are meant for only them and not for us.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that's weird?
A little. Welcome to Purgatory.
Good to be here.
You're living in a carnival, hoping to win a prize. What are you gonna win?
Under the Silver Lake.
Beware of the movie killer. That was funny. Look, really, this movie was cool. I mean, it was outside of something I watch. The beginning was really, interesting. I mean, I found it was interesting, if y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff caught me off guard, like for real.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the angle that it goes for. I think that's kind of what these stoner noir films kind of have in common. I think the whole genre is just about subverting expectations. For me, this movie had a real personal connection.
Yes, and I was about to get to that.
Because, and just as a general life philosophy, I lead a very organized life. I plan things out, and so to watch a movie where everything is so unplanned, where it's just following this guy's life as he does all these unplanned things, it's kind of an interesting release into that other person in the world who just thinks so differently from someone who leads such an organized life.
I think with this movie, it revealed. So this is this dude, literally this cat, that's like, don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he got 5 days to pay months of rent. You know what I'm saying? Not just that month, but months.
Yeah.
And like, do what he do, the drugs and stuff or whatever. And then, but some catches outside of him stalking a woman, which I feel like was stalking, but he was,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he was stalking.
Yeah.
And trying to, figure something out. Like I think it amused him or gave him
pleasure.
Not pleasure, but like excitement to try to figure this mystery out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, so you got this dude that don't give a care about life, but has a passion for this one thing, and then he like takes it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I thought that was interesting. I like how they angled that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Outside of all the other stupid stuff that was going on within it.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer for this. I remember seeing It Follows. I really love that movie. I really like the director. He wrote, and writes. I love him. And I got a lot of expectations coming in this, and it really fizzled out towards the very end. Yeah. Because this movie has so much going for it. So much mystery, so much
literally
interesting characters. There's so much to explore here. And then we get to the end, and it's like, okay, actually, well, it turns out she's still alive. And what? You were expecting something bigger, maybe more grander than that? I mean, this movie's only been showing us, trying to top itself. And I'm sorry. thanks for the ride, guys.
Yeah, and it literally tingles all your senses. You know what I'm saying? And then
there's so many characters that just don't really seem to make any sense, or don't really even. Don't really make a big splash into the film. Like the dog killer. I'm like, was Andrew Garfield's character the dog killer? I mean, the movie really didn't explain that, and it kind of hints at that because he has dog treats, but his dog's dead.
I don't know. I mean, those same criticisms is Big Lebowski a disappointment in the end? I mean, their showdown is hilariously not. They don't actually even make contact with any of each other, really. I mean, I think that's kind of the whole genre. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is, in my opinion, the weakest of the three. So I definitely see where you're coming from, but I feel like the whole, like I said, the whole part of the genre is subverting expectations. To take those ideas of, and I guess it kind of harkens back to stoner culture, is taking the ideas, the expectations, and just throwing them out the window for something small and insignificant, pulling it out and making it the focus, I guess, which I guess is kind of the whole culture.
I would agree with that, but I think this whole movie is so structured on such an idea, on a foundation of complex, ideas of, subliminal messages. And so for the entire, for the very end to be such a weak, just him kind of like, okay, now I'm part of the secret, and now I understand something that no one else understands, because he's in the apartment next to his, and he's just watching as the police are looking at the little sign, and he's like, oh, and no, he's smiling because he's like, oh, I get it. No, I was just them a couple days ago, and now I'm, kind of just like, superior than everybody else. I don't know. It just felt.
I think it's symbolic of nihilism in that sense. I think not to reference Big Lebowski again, but I think it all kind of ties into that sense of nihilism where it doesn't really matter. Nothing really matters. I think that's just kind of, and it is disappointing, because I do think it's very hard to write a hero's journey where the hero is realizing that nothing matters. It's very hard to motivate your hero if he doesn't think anything matters.
So, like, let's say if I just made up a question when it came to that. Just thinking about everything that happened, would you say that motivated him to do something? You know what I'm saying? Like, he had no motivation at all in the beginning of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they like brought up a fire in him or whatever like that.
Like the motivation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, do you think he found motivation to like, you know what, I'm gonna just start doing it right after that?
So I think it's about subverting the expectation. The expectation, he went into this trying to find truth. Essentially, it's kind of his hero's journey was finding truth. And the truth that he found subverted the expectations he had, in the sense that the truth he found is that nothing matters. I'm just a part of this secret now.
So now he's just gonna be like, no motivation. I'm gonna keep doing, not paying my rent.
Essentially, it's kind of just.
Dang.
Kind of like, I think that kind of goes into the Stoner Noir idea of, I guess, they don't learn from, their experience. Every character in each film, they always end the kind of the same exact way that they started. In the same situation.
Okay,
and
all
nothing
right,
has changed.
I'm with you.
They haven't learned anything. The problems that plagued them in the beginning is still still there in the very end. In the Big Lebowski, he still doesn't have his rug. He still has to pay his rent. In Pineapple Express, they're both kind of injured, but nothing really changed for any of them.
Yeah.
And in this one, he still doesn't have a place to live now, and the woman that he was chasing after is still gone. So, and he still has a dead dog. So,
that speaks into something though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to have no motivation, and then to have motivation to do something, and still at the end of the day you have nothing and walk away with nothing, like all the motivation you had just like dies down and you got nothing no more.
So I guess the real question now is Stoner Noir this kind of circular, nothing really happens plot path? Is it critical of like drug use and the effects of it, or is it like justifying it? Is it using nihilism? Is this kind of plot structure justifying the kind of nihilism that comes with lots of drug use and the kind of philosophy that typically comes with a lot of drug use? Or is it a criticism of it and the people that engage in that? It's kind of that question. Is it being critical or is it encouraging?
I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle, kind of just like relishing in it, kind of taking the ideas of both. And again, sorry to bring up the Big Lebowski, but the dude, he kind of does Taoism. He kind of just, he's in with the motions. He's kind of like the tumbleweed. It just just goes along with it.
It's almost like enjoy it, but don't center your life around this.
See where it leads.
I can see that. I can come around to that.
But
good.
No, you go.
All right, cool. I can go then. All right, so stay tuned for the next show where we'll be talking about three identical strangers, Three identical strangers, Jodorowsky's Doom, and the Wolf Pack. This is The Verge.
Y'all have a good one.